Peace. Today's Monday, April 8th. Making today's math.
Build, destroy.
That's right, build and destroy. It's a symbiotic process. When you build on the positive, you destroy the negative. Peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got fact checker Rage in the house. Your mic working?
Present.
Okay, I'm tired of your shit sounding all echoey and shit, and I can't hear your motherfucking ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What's good, people? We here.
Yeah.
Another.
Little bit of a somber note.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. What everyone's talking about right now. The murder, or some may say the assassination of Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, but before we get into that, I want to first acknowledge that this past weekend in Harlem, there was a street naming ceremony in front of the Allah School in Mecca for the Nation of Gods and Earths, and it is now called the 5% of Allah and Justice Square. So clap it up for the acknowledgement that the Nation of Gods and Earths, the 5%ers, that the Father Allah and Justice, their contribution to Harlem and the re-education of young black youth, and a campaign was spearheaded by the god Malachi, peace to the god Malachi, and he took it to the politicians, just like Allah dealt with the politicians back in the days. He was dealing with Mayor Lindsay, and that's how we got the Allah School in the first place. So yeah, they got the street naming, and I think that's a positive thing. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I was unable to make it there, but we're acknowledging it here on the Godcast. So now, before we move on, if you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, Yanadameen.com/support. And now we have a new means of how to contribute to the show. And I'm really excited about this right here. This is called Bounty. Bounty, ooh. Ding! We got a Bounty. Bounty.com. Okay, so if you go to bounty.com/Yanadameen, literally every time I say bounty.com, it's ringing off. The angels must love it. So you can go to bounty.com/Yanadameen. We're going to have all that, in the description that we put up. And what Bounty is, you can set up specific targets that you're going for. Let's just say people are always talking about, y'all need new mics, and I can't hear y'all. I do the complaining voice. That's how I think it sounds. Y'all need new mics.
That's what they sound like?
Yeah, that's what they sound like. So we put up a bounty, let's say, for some lav mics or a boom mic. And we could put up exactly how much it costs, where we getting it from, and all of that. And now a bounty is created. People donate money for that specific bounty. Or let's say there's a guest that the people want to see. Now, we're not the only ones that can create bounties. The people can actually create a bounty. So let's say they want to see somebody come on the show, but they live in California. They need a plane ticket over here, hotel while they're here, and all that type of shit. We can create a bounty for that, where the people put money towards a bounty. And now we either accept the bounty or decline the bounty. And now if we decline the bounty, your money just goes back to the people, and no harm, no foul. You're not charged anything. If
So,
we do accept the
Sort of
bounty,
like Kickstarter and GoFundMe.
yeah, but it's more it's more detail
A
specific. It's
variation.
not a general thing. Like somebody will say, I'm trying to fund my movie, and I need this much money or whatever. They're not telling you exactly where that, where every dollar is going. This
Okay.
allows you. This allows you. The people, it's more transparency, I feel, for the people.
Okay.
So you put up a bounty. When you see we get to that, we reach that goal. And if we get close to it, we can still accept, maybe we didn't get all the way, but it's close enough. All right, we can keep the money on Kickstarter or some of those joints. If you don't get all the way.
I think
you don't get
GoFundMe you get to keep, and I think Indiegogo you get to keep. Damn, they still make Indiegogo? No, Kickstarter is a no.
This should just add transparency for the people and allows them to participate. Rewards.
Damn.
We can always cut. There's rewards that are given for, depending on the level of donation and all of that type of stuff. So anyway, check it out. Go to bounty.com/Yanadameen. And yeah, this is something that I'm really excited about.
Every $100 I wear in shorter skirt.
Oh, shit. Somebody like, 1,000.
Get to the 1,000. I'm doing mini.
You be having a crop top in a minute, god damn it. All right, so listen, what the fuck, yo?
It's with heavy hearts that we have to report on the passing of Nipsey Hussle, named Ermias Joseph. Oh God, I do not know how to pronounce this.
Ermias Joseph Askedam.
Askedam. Okay.
Is how I believe it would be pronounced.
Okay.
Because there's people actually from like Eritrea or.
Oh wow.
I think he's like Ethiopian or Eritrean, some sort of African, where they have that like curly hair, that Ethiopian type of
Original
vibe.
people.
Yeah. So
I mean, everything about it sucks. I know I was asleep, and my daughter called me and told me what had happened. I didn't believe her at first because any little internet anything, my daughter like, you heard such and such, like she was like she's one of those, and I didn't believe her. And the first thing I do, I check for confirmation. I went to Twitter. I went to the trending feed, and when I saw his name at the top of the list, like I just got a big old like lump in my throat, like no. And then I and saw what happened, and I mean I can't front. The first thing that came to my mind was like, it's a conspiracy. Like, who the hell would want to kill Nipsey Hussle? And I saw a lot of people coming to that conclusion, and I also saw a lot of people like shooting it down,
well, we're gonna get to that in a second.
Getting backlash.
Let's get to that in a second, but because that's a whole thing in itself that I'd like to address. This whole,
Okay. Well, let's start with just talking about him.
I just want to say, first of all, when I heard the news, my wife had actually called me. I was in the crib. I was working on some shit, and I'm just tuned out. And then she hit me. Did you hear Nipsey Hussle died? And I'm like, what? And like,
shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, almost.
Immediately, like just a sinking feeling. Like, I never met this brother in my life, I never met him in my life, but something about him is like I felt like I knew him. Like he felt like one of those, like real recognized real is all I could say. And he was one of those dudes that I felt like especially from this younger generation, like, okay, at least they still got a few
Make those.
real ones left.
I had a conversation
At
with him
least
about.
there's still a few real ones left. There's one right there I could see, Nipsey Hussle.
I had a conversation with him about coming on the show, and I ain't follow up. We chatted briefly on Twitter, like when his album dropped, because remember we reviewed him and Rock Marcy's album the same day.
Yes.
And I shouted him out on Twitter, and he you know, he retweeted it and shouted me back, and you know, little exchange in the DMs, but
because he was a real dude like that. That he, you see him saying there's certain artists that if you shouted him in a DM, they probably wouldn't even see the shit, or they're just so self-absorbed that they might not feel that you're important enough.
Or just the fact that, you know, he saw my tweet, because when I tweeted, I didn't add him or anything. Like,
Really?
It was actually a conversation with the producers, Mike and Keys, the main producers of that album. I was really shouting them out, like, shout out to such and such, you know, responsible for all the production on that great Nipsey album. And Nipsey saw that and was like, you know, thank you, you know.
Wow.
Like, responded to them and like, oh yeah, you know, shout out to Digga, you know.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And I'm mad that you know, you just take for granted that, oh, you know, I'll get them, and then things, you know, time goes on, and I ain't really follow up. But I had brought it up to him, like, yeah, I do a podcast with Lord Jamar. I'd love to, you know, have you at least, I say call in, because,
right.
You know, call in, and he was like, word, just, you know, let me know. And then I ain't follow up.
See, so now when it happened, I get the sinking feeling in the stomach. It wasn't like when I heard, you know, about, you know, rest in peace to all of these First of all, the amount of rappers that have been getting killed lately is fucking ridiculous.
Or just dying.
Yeah, but getting killed specifically is some shit. It wasn't like when XXX Tentacion got killed. You know, that one didn't hit me per se. It was like, oh wow, that's a shame. You know,
I was.
That's
sad.
a young black man, but I didn't feel the same way that this made me feel. This to me was this just was different. And now when you start to talk about the conspiracy and all that, where did my mind directly go to? Wow. And this brother was just producing a Dr. Sabi documentary.
I'll be honest, that probably was the second thing that came to my mind. The first thing that came to my mind was, because I know he a real one, the first thing that came to my mind was like, damn, some old gang shit done caught up with him. That was
That's
brief.
not the first thing. The first thing that came to my mind was the Dr.
And then the
Sabi.
second thing was like, wait a minute, he's producing a documentary. And he actually joked about it in an interview. He was like, yo man, if I turn up dead, y'all better ride for me. He was talking about the Sebi interview, and that was like 2-3 weeks ago. I think it was a radio station, maybe Atlanta, LA, like I'm not sure what station, but he just like this month of March, like he was just like, you know, he was joking, but how ominous is that?
And also what came to my mind shortly after that was Laura London.
Oh God.
Was
that
just
is still
because I just looked at those two and they just seemed like
the GQ,
the type of, you know, like they finally found each other.
the GQ spread just dropped. Like,
you gotta go through some shit sometimes in your life. You go through some bullshit. You go through your ups and downs, and you know what I mean. Like he probably had girls, she had guys. You know what I mean. Like, but then once they got together,
they're so fly
they
together.
seemed like a really great, strong
Power couple.
Power
like
couple.
you could put them in that power couple
Right,
conversation.
not on some pretentious shit.
No.
On some real, like you know what I mean?
She's
Some
a real one,
G
he's a
shit.
real
Some
one.
real, yeah.
And it's really,
but they were showing that black love.
it's really not every day you meet a partner, a real like partner that match your fly, like, you know.
And I just knew that in that moment that this woman had really like lost her soulmate or something. You know what I mean? Like really. And it's fucked up, like, you know what I mean? Because you go through the bullshit only to find that and then to lose it like that, that's fucked up, yo. That's fucked up. But let's address all of this, you know, conspiracy. People say conspiracy theories. I say, you know, yeah, there's conspiracy theory, but there's also conspiracy practice, and let's not always write things off so fast. When XXX was killed, did anybody mention anything about a conspiracy on that one?
No.
No. You know why? Because the young man wasn't doing anything that was even conspiracy worthy. You see, yes, the young man had gang affiliations and came from a gang background. And if we left it there, then all we could probably blame it on, it would be the obvious thing to say, all right, this is some gang shit. But the fact that he comes from that is now flipping it and striving to be on some positive shit, striving to hustle and motivate, as one of his songs say, to actually be oh shit, this is Bill Whitfield calling me. Damn, hang on a second. This is Michael Jackson's bodyguard.
Cut.
If he was just a gangster, cool, we could have left it there. It would be feasible to say it's just some gang shit. But the fact that, first of all, the young man has so much influence,
and
okay?
was doing so much more.
Especially on a street level. He was representing.
He was loved by Bloods and Crips.
Right.
Like he actually, you know, brought them together.
He was representing economic empowerment and financial literacy. He was representing peace between, you know, the gangs, and he was representing doing for self. And moreover, he discovered Dr. Sabi, and the fact that Dr. Sabi was taken to court by New York State and the federal government for making claims that he can cure AIDS and cancer, and he won. And this is something that is not readily known by many people. So this was something that he wanted to bring to the forefront by doing a documentary on Dr. Sabi.
Right. And let me stop you right there too, because a lot of people, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people say, oh, you know, he didn't. There's so much material about Dr. Sabi on the internet, like they wouldn't just kill him for that. Like the conspiracy is nonsense. What people aren't realizing is it's not that he was just doing a documentary on Dr. Sabi. Like he was going to pinpoint and highlight specifics from the trial that enabled him to win, which is something that isn't floating around all over the internet and YouTube videos the way, yes, you can go on the internet right now and see, you know, and see a tincture or a recipe for something he put together, but that's not the same as, okay, what was step 1, step 2, step 3 that actually got him to, you know, be acquitted of said charges. That's what Nipsey was highlighting in these documentaries.
You could go on the internet and have, you know, someone with not as much influence who they can try to, you know, spin as a quack or some sort of weirdo who put you on to Dr. Sebi, okay? But the fact that Nipsey Hussle was a live nigga, okay, that he shouldn't have even known about Dr. Sebi. You see? But the fact that he did, and he was trying to expose that it's his influence that was dangerous. It's not just the fact that, oh, you can go on the internet. The fact that somebody with major influence on our people, on our youth, could have actually taught us some shit that could have put a dent in big pharmaceutical. Because he mentioned this when he was on the Breakfast Club about shortstopping the grind. Like motherfuckers out here will shoot you for shortstopping $100.
And he said,
so imagine shortstopping 100 million.
If I turn up dead, y'all better ride for me.
He said that. And he also tweeted an hour before, it's beautiful to have strong enemies or something to that effect. You know, what did that all mean? Who are these strong enemies? I don't think it was shitty cuz that he was talking about. Now, let's get into shitty cuz and all that real quick. Because, that's a little convenient too. How they just gonna offer up shitty cuz and, say it was cuz, the brother slighted him in some fashion and called him a snitch and told him to get out of here and all this type of shit. I mean, first of all, if you a snitch, why are you coming around? And maybe because some of these new school motherfuckers allow shit like that to happen. You see? They allow dudes like that who move funny to still come back in the hood and be accepted. Because rules have changed. And since Nipsey is a stand-up dude, it is feasible that he could have said something like that. Don't get me wrong. But it's also feasible that somebody could have paid shitty cuz to do the fucking job. Somebody could have said, hang on, this fucking guy is really, starting to piss me off. He's gaining too much traction. He has a fucking meeting with the
day before.
Yeah, he got a meeting with the fucking police chief tomorrow. Like, this is getting out of hand. Like, who do we got on our fucking payroll? Well, who's in his set that can get close to him? Well, we got a shitty cuz. Yeah, I think he'd have motivation to do it, because apparently, rumor has it how shitty cuz got his name. Do we know how shitty cuz got his name?
I read some things.
You read some shit on the internet, right?
I read some shit.
We can't confirm or deny, but from what we have heard is that apparently it was found out that shitty cuz was a snitch, and in the retribution for him snitching, he was beat up and ass raped. And during the ass rape, he shitted on himself. Thus, the moniker Shitty Cuz? I don't know, this is what we heard. This is floating down the street. I can't confirm or deny.
I can't confirm or deny that either. I'm not even speaking to
he's
that.
obviously a shitty individual, what he did. Shot him multiple times. He's gonna kick him while he was down and all that. It was... Did you see it, first of all? Did you see the footage?
Yeah, I mean...
Because that was super disturbing.
That was disturbing that was really some deep-seated hate. Like, that was more, to me, that was personal. That was overkill. That's why I'm leaning more towards this was something like personal than professional.
But you can't, you telling me that somebody can't influence your emotions? You see what I'm saying?
I mean, absolutely.
Like, it might have been something personal, but what I'm saying is he could have been sent at them honestly, you gonna let him do this to you?
Honestly, for me, no theory is all off the table, because we've seen in the past how how the powers that be turn our own against each other.
Exactly.
They planted
Who
those
killed
seeds.
Malcolm?
They planted those seeds within the Black Panthers. They planted those seeds within the Nation of Islam.
There ain't gonna be no white man in a suit walking up.
Exactly. So
let's not
definitely
act like this is out of the realm of possibility.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't. It's just one of those things that you have to just, I guess, really sit back and wait for all the facts to come out, and we're hearing more and more, like, we don't really know, we don't really know the history of, their history, within their set. So I'm not gonna be, too presumptuous to speak on like what could have possibly been going on before that, because that looked way more than like, yo, get out of here, get away from my store. That was definitely more than get away from my store.
Listen, we're gonna take a break real quick, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk a little more about this, because I just feel like it's not wrapped up yet. So let's just take a break. We'll come back. We're talking about Nipsey Hussle, the murder / assassination of a real motherfucker. Yanadameen Godcast.
Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.